What's up, YouTube? Honeybee here, bringing you another Injustice 2 Pro Series point breakdown slash update video. In this video, we're mainly going to be covering what just happened for North America East online tournament for Injustice 2. Just as a quick update, though, as far as the Injustice 2 Intercontinental Championship goes, we can see now on the esports Injustice 2 website that the Intercontinental Championship is now listed here, although for some reason it says Europe. I don't know why. It's covering multiple regions than just Europe. And the Australian portion of it did conclude, I believe that was on Saturday, on the 8th of September, won it, and Gilbags, I believe, came second, meaning the two of them will be representing Australia come October 7th for the finals for that. So make sure you look out for that. They're going to be repping Australia, so that should be really good to watch. On top of that, as far as Liga Latina goes, I haven't been that up to date on what's going on with Liga Latina, but I do know that Killer Jinok did win a Brazil qualifier to make it to Mexico, where I believe that whoever wins there in Mexico will be getting that Liga Latina spot for IPS finals. So Killer Jinok, Flash player, he is going to be in there. I believe Hey George is probably going to be there too. They're the only South American players that I'm really familiar with, so I have a feeling it's going to come down to the two of them. But yeah, as far as NA East, which just concluded, let's get straight into that. First things first, I'll just talk about how I did. I got 9th, so that means I didn't get any points for this tournament, which is okay because, you know, I'm already in, but it would have been nice to do well and to get more points, win a little bit of money. But yeah, I fell just short of the top 8. The people who did make top 8, though, we do have the results here. So Gur won the whole thing, which is going to be huge for him. We're going to talk about that very shortly. Silvereye got second, which is very, very big for him as well. Samij third, Tweety fourth. Big D got fifth, which does matter quite a bit, so we'll get into that. Gross fifth. Sunio and Combat both got 7th, getting 20 points each. I don't believe they really had any points going into the Pro Series, so that's not really going to matter. As far as an updated standings, I went ahead and made it here. So Tweety gained 50 points. He went from 570 to 620. I believe that the math is correct there. Samij, he was actually in 4th before, behind Rewind by 10 points, but since he got 3rd, he got 65 points, and he goes from 345 to a cool 400 points. So he's going to be sitting in 3rd place pretty comfortably. Another thing to note, by the way, is for the North America East, Canada kind of got shut out. Myself, my brother Biohazard, and Hayate all came 9th, so none of us received any points for this online tournament. So you'll see that Bio is still going to be here in 2nd with 495 points, sitting quite comfortably in a 2nd place position, 95 points over Samij, and quite a bit less than Tweety. So he's probably going to be the 2nd seed going into the finals, unless like Samij basically wins, or, you know, like, there's always a possibility of things changing. Rewind could win the whole thing, very, very possibly, and that could shake things up again in terms of top seeding. But yeah, Sonic Fox did not compete, so he's gonna be staying in his 5th place seed. Gross ended up getting 5th, so he gets 35 points, goes from 285 to 320. He's going to remain in the 6th seed, bringing him just a little bit closer, well, actually quite a bit closer to Sonic Fox, so he could potentially overtake Sonic Fox points-wise. Hayate, since he got 9th, he's going to stay in 7th at 250. Irish Mantis remains 8th, 225. I remain 9th with 210, but this is where things really start getting shaken up. Silvereye, he ended up getting 2nd of this tournament, gets 80 points. Before this tournament started, he was at 125. So 125 plus 80 will leave him at 205 points. So now Silvereye has jumped up. This is not correct. He wasn't 13th. He was actually 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He was actually 14th. Silver Eye was actually 14th in points, and now he's going to be 10th in points. So he was outside of the top 12. Now he's inside the top 12. In a good position. Definitely not guaranteed at this point, but it is definitely a strong position. He hasn't been in a position this strong since basically the first tournament combo breaker where he ended up getting 5th. Ever since then, he's steadily been, I think, declining in terms of rankings. So this was a really good tournament for him to shoot himself back up in the points and get to 205. But the big thing for this tournament was Gur. Gur was he wasn't 20, this here will say 21st, but he was actually 22nd with 60 points. But since he won the whole thing, he gets 125 points for North America East for winning this tournament, and that will bump him up to 185 points. So Gur 100% needed to win this tournament to really have a good hold on getting into that top 12 spot, and he actually managed to do it, which is crazy. Like I'm very happy for him. Gur's he's definitely a friend of mine, so I'm very happy that he did well. He is one of the better players that I thought would be in that top 12, so it's nice to see him in there right now. He has 185 points. So if he ended up getting second, he actually would have been tied with Big D over here for 140. And then if Silver Eye won, he would have had a huge jump, and he would have gone all the way up to tie with Hayate for 250 points. But since Rai got second, he's going to be at 205 points, 5 points underneath me, and Gur is going to sit at 185 points. So he's now in the top 12, and yeah, this is the thing though. It's not this spot right here at 185 points. I don't think that's very comfortable right now. I would say the only person that's like comfortably in the top, like I would say Hayate is almost certainly in. 250 points is definitely a really strong position. Irish Mantis is at 225, which is also a strong position, but technically I think he could get kicked out. Myself as well, I'm at 210. That is a strong position, but I technically could get kicked out. But since I won Northern Arena, the Canadian tournament, if I were to be kicked out of the top 12, I'll take the Northern Arena seed. If I remain in the top 12, I believe that opens up 13th in points to actually grab the Northern Arena seed, if what I've been told is correct. So as it stands right now, I'm in the top 12, meaning it's actually a top 13 that will end up qualifying, meaning that Tekken Master and Happy Pal right now are tied. They're on the cusp of the top 12, but since I won Northern Arena and my seed would go down, I guess, that means Tekken Master and Happy Pal would actually both be in right now. Scar ended up getting kicked out of the top 12. He was in 12th position, but since Rai and Gur both passed him, he's now going to be sitting in the 14th seed. Big D was at 15th seed here. That number's wrong. He was at 15th seed. Since he got 5th, he gets an extra 35 points to bring him to remain in the 15th seed. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. He remains in the 15th seed because Gur passed him. That's why. But then he actually ended up passing Nubcakes. So Nubcakes, even though he won North America West quite like a couple months back, he's now sitting outside in not such a good position. He's in the 16th in points. So he's going to need quite a showing, I would say, at SoCal Regionals. As it stands, I would say basically Scar would need like at least minimum top 8, obviously, to qualify. He needs a top 8 at SCR. I would say a 7th might be okay, but a 5th would be way more comfortable. Big D, if he were to get a 7th at SCR, he would actually only tie with Tekken Master and Happy Pal, assuming that the two of them get 0 points. But I know Tekken Master is going. I'm not too sure about Happy Pal, and most likely Tekken Master will get some points. So I would think Big D is going to need like at least a top 5 in order for him to qualify. Scar as well, I would think, would at least need a top 5. Nubcakes as well. They're only separated by 5 points, but they're all not currently in right now. 175 is the minimum. As long as like, if Tekken Master can get a top 8, I think he'll be fine. Same thing goes for Gur. Same thing goes for Rai. Rai could potentially get like a 9th and still be good. Gur could get a 9th and still be good. So they're in a pretty good position. I could get a 9th and still be good in terms of my current seeding. But then you have people like Deoxys that I think are going to SoCal Regionals. And he's one of those guys that from the start, I really expected him to be in that top 12 in points because I know he's such a strong player. And SoCal Regionals is the last chance to qualify through points. So if Deoxys is gonna have a nice tournament, this is definitely the one. But he's gonna need, I would say, minimum top 4, minimum. But ideally, he would need a top 3 or above. So it's a pretty tall order. Kind of same thing goes for Forever King, who had a good showing at CEO. He ended up getting 5th, and that gave him his 70 points. And then he had like 5 points from Combo Breaker, I think. But then he hasn't gotten points outside of that, so Forever King's gonna need, like, I would say minimum top 3 to make it. And then like you have Theo down here who hasn't been doing too well for these events, and he's probably gonna need at minimum top 2. If he were to win the whole thing, then yeah, he would be in. But yeah, Theo would, well, a top 3, wait, top 3 would be 130 points. No, he needs minimum top 2. So that's kind of how it's looking right now. Yeah, this was a huge tournament. I think SoCal Regionals is going to be a very big decider for people like Scar and Big D and Nubcakes that are right on the bubble but not quite there. For someone like White Boy and Forever King, I believe he's going. For those guys who definitely could make it if they have a really good tournament. But then it might just end up being up to a last chance qualifier at this point to see if they can make it. But as it stands, top 12, or I guess top 13, let's go with that for the Northern Arena seed. This is what we got right here. So Tweety, Bio, Samij, Rewind, Sonic Fox, Gross, Hayate, Irish Mantis, Honeybee, Silvereye, Gur, Tekken Master, and Happy Pow are the people that are currently in. So I'll see you guys at SCR. Definitely going to be training for that. Thank you for tuning into the video, and I'll see you next time.